Hey guys, Ultra Maximus here with another Transformers review. This time we're going to take a look at another Transformers Generations figure, Fall of Cybertron. It is a Voyager class, and I was actually really shocked to see this guy tonight. I went to go see Oz, the Great and the Powerful, and I was waiting for the movie to start, and went and got a slice of pizza and some beer, and down in Southern Plaza on the south side of Indianapolis, and there's a Kmart down the street. So I'm like, I want to see if they got any new figures down there. So I drove down and waiting for the movie to start, and found this guy. Was shocked to see him already. I was like, what? Really? I was expecting this guy probably early to midsummer, and there he is. It's the Fall of Cybertron Soundblaster. Yes. The repaint of Soundwave, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. I had to do a double take to see this guy. They only had one, and I obviously snatched him up right away. I was like, that's very nice. Picked him up, and Twin Strike. Didn't expect to find either of them, so I was very, very happy to see this guy. And you know what? Even though he is a repaint of Soundwave, I always like to get this guy because he's badass. It's Soundwave in black and gold, and just looks awesome. Black, gold, and red. I mean, just very cool. And we see this character. I'm pretty sure he's not in the Fall of Cybertron game anywhere. I've never seen him in the game. Maybe a skin to put over Soundwave for Xbox or PlayStation. I'm not sure. But yeah, we see this guy. He originally appears in the Japanese version of Headmasters, the Headmasters series, and Blaster and Soundwave basically go to a duel to death in that series, and Blaster becomes Twin Cast, a blue and yellow version of himself, gets rebuilt into it, and Soundwave, he dies, and his minions rebuild him. Rumble and Frenzy and Laserbeak and Ravage and all of them rebuild him as Soundblaster, and he's a lot darker. He just seems a little bit more sinister. I don't know if it's the color scheme, or I mean, his personality is a little colder. If Soundwave could get colder, and very cool stuff. So we see him. That's the first time we see Soundblaster, and they made a Japanese toy of him. We never saw him in the U.S. in the original G1. They recently did a reissue of the figure, and they expanded the chest out so he could put a couple different tapes in there, which I'd really like to get that figure. But the only other time you see him is in Transformers Animated. Soundwave gets the Autobots, and he basically puts them under his programming things, trying to reprogram them. And we see him as Soundblaster in the dream state that they are in, and we get a figure for him, but they call him Static Shock Soundwave instead of Soundblaster. So this is one of the few times we actually see him as Soundblaster, which is very cool, very awesome. And again, like I said, even though he's a repaint of Soundwave, this is one I will always buy because I like the idea of him. He's a rebuilt Soundwave. He's a darker version of the Soundwave, and I just love the color scheme. I think it's very cool. So here he is in the package, and he comes with Buzzsaw. So he completes the entire cassette line from G1 for Soundwave, which is Laserbeak and Rumble, Frenzy, Ravage, Ratbat, and Buzzsaw. And to be honest, this is the first time I've ever owned both Soundwave and Soundblaster and all of the tapes. So this is kind of cool for me. In addition to Blaster, I've never had a Blaster figure, so I'm really, really digging this. And I love the fact he's a Voyager figure. So here he is in the package. We get this really nice artwork of a Soundblaster here holding Buzzsaw, looking really cool. And of course, it wraps around. Now, this is the same artwork that is on the Soundwave box. The Soundblaster, obviously, it's basically the same artwork. They just repaint it, but he's got these nice rusted, kind of tore up spots on him, on his metal that look really cool. Of course, the splashes, the artwork looks really nice. I like the Soundblaster with Buzzsaw included. Of course, Buzzsaw is nothing more than a gold version of Laserbeak, and in the original Transformers line, Buzzsaw came with Soundwave. Laserbeak did not, which I had Buzzsaw as a kid because I had the Soundwave figure, so it was kind of cool. And you don't see Buzzsaw too often. I think he only makes a handful of appearances in the original G1 show. Of course, we have Decepticon Series 01, figure number 2, which is pretty cool. Looking at, let's see, the Soundwave box. Yeah, Soundwave was figure 01, so Soundblaster is figure 02. And comparing the two, it is actually two different pieces of artwork, which is nice. I do like that. So a completely new set of artwork for Soundblaster, which is very, very cool. We've got the Decepticon logo down there. Down at the bottom we have all the other tapes that you can buy, just like Soundwave. Of course, we looked at that side. Looking cool. The top is about the same with all the other Voyager figures. And then here is the back of the package. So it's basically the same setup we have for Soundwave, except it's in the Soundblaster setup. Now the nice thing is the Soundblaster piece down here with the cassette popping out, instead of Soundwave and Laserbeak, they actually use Soundblaster and Buzzsaw, which is kind of cool. I do dig that. Now, here is his bio. If you want to pause and read that, you can. The cool thing about this bio, and I really want to kind of point this out, it says, you know, he's restored to a fully functional state by the loyalty of his minions and the arcane science of an alien world. Soundwave takes a new name to reflect his new lease on life. No longer content to simply manage electronic warfare for the Decepticons, he charges into battle against the Autobots, using devastating sonic attacks to disable and disorient his enemies so that his minions can finish them off. I love how they have the Japanese headmaster's bio for this figure. We've never had that in the United States. I think that is absolutely phenomenal. Kudos to the guys at Hasbro who put this together. I think that is a fantastic nod to the original series. And looking at his stats, they are, not surprisingly, identical to Soundwave's. Because, well, he is Soundwave. He's just a rebuilt version of Soundwave. And if you want to look at his stats, there they are. It's the same exact stuff. So, very cool, very nice. I'm digging the paint scheme already out of the gate. I think it's very cool. Let's get this guy out of the package and take a look at the paint scheme and see what we think. Alright, so here we have Soundblaster out of package. And I gotta say, I am really digging this guy. The original Soundblaster was a totally black version of Soundwave. This one is more of a charcoal, smoky, grayish, blackish color, which I'm digging. I like the color. It looks nice. I might have liked an all-black one, but this has definitely got a little more depth, I think, in color scheme for the guy, so that's pretty darn cool. Yeah, he just looks really nice. I mean, it's the same exact figure as Soundwave, but he's in the Soundblaster color scheme, so he's got the dark black slash smoky charcoal gray look going on. He's got the red cassette deck, which is pretty darn awesome. That, of course, pops out. Very cool. Gotta dig that. Just like the Soundwave figure, I mean, it's got some nice detail under there. We've got his missile rack up here, which is gray again still. I wish it was the same color, unfortunately, but at least it's in the same token as the Soundwave figure. But we do have all the red up here, which looks really nice. And he's got the red wheels instead of the purple wheels for Soundwave. He does have a nice purple Decepticon logo there, but I think it would look better if they had the white background behind the Decepticon logo to make it pop out over that. We do have the nice gold trim around that, and his eyes are gold instead of red like the Soundwave figure, which is very cool. Kind of reminds me of the original figure. The original figure was yellow gold eyes. We've got yellow and gold down here on his arms and on his legs. I mean, he just looks really, really nice. I'm really digging this guy. And as far as a comparison for Soundwave, let's pull Soundwave up here. And here we have Soundblaster and Soundwave. He just looks darker and meaner to me. I'm really digging this guy. He is a nice repaint of Soundwave. He just looks a little bit more sinister. And I don't know. Like I said, I can always buy both of these figures. Even though they're the exact same figure with a different paint scheme, I gotta have them every time. Now, well, Soundwave has some light piping. Let's see what good old Soundblaster. He's got yellow, almost looks like glow in the dark where his light piping is, but that looks a little bit painted. Let's see. Oh, yes, we do have some nice light piping. I am digging that. It looks very, very cool. This is the first time I'm looking at it, so very, very nice. Very impressive. I did not think that was going to glow. It looks like it's just going to be straight paint on there, but it's not. So that's very, very cool. I am really, really digging that. Yeah, I mean, even though it's the same figure, the paint scheme looks fantastic. Looking at Buzzsaw. So here's Buzzsaw in his data disk mode, or whatever you want to call it. Looks pretty cool. Reminds me of the golden disc from Beast Wars, actually. And then on this side, he's got some silver and all that kind of stuff. Dropping him. Let's compare him to Laserbeak. So here's Laserbeak with the silver and red. I think Buzzsaw looks better in data disk mode, to be honest. And here is the back side. Now, significant difference is the Decepticon logos. His on Laserbeak is just a straight silver one, where Buzzsaw has a gold one and a black circle. So that is a little bit different. Looking at these guys in bird mode. Love how they just kind of pop open. Very, very fun. Here they are in comparison. So here's Laserbeak and here is Buzzsaw. Obviously, same paint scheme. One's gold, one's red. Just like Laserbeak, unfortunately, they did not paint any eyes on Buzzsaw, which is very, very unfortunate. It would be nice if they would have done that. So there they are underneath. And I don't know, there's something about Buzzsaw I've always liked. I like that gold. I think it looks very nice. Maybe it's because I had an original G1 figure and I had Buzzsaw. I never had Laserbeak. But I do like the gold. Maybe it's because Buzzsaw didn't make as many appearances in the G1 show over Laserbeak. But yeah, very, very cool. So here is Buzzsaw and Soundblaster. And a little original G1 style, Soundwave and Buzzsaw as they would have come originally. And just for fun, we'll transform Buzzsaw back into disc mode. And again, if you've not played with these figures, you kind of pull out. You've got the chest piece there, and then the data disc is going to slide in. I'm just gonna have to. Now the chest pieces they're tight, and that is the one drawback I will put on these figures. It needs a little bit more playroom, I think, for these discs to go in. But you've got the disc there. Once you get the disc all the way in, like so, you can close it up and you shrink that in. And he can actually put multiple discs in. I do like it. It does have the eject piece. So if I want to put that in, maybe I'll push him back a little bit, and then we'll transform Laserbeak really fast. Can't hold on to them. These guys are going to fall all over the place. So there they are. There's Laserbeak. So I'll put Laserbeak inside of Soundblaster. which will be the first time I've done this with Soundblaster. So I have Laserbeak and Buzzsaw mounted in the Soundblaster, and there it is. Very cool stuff. I am really, really digging it. So eject, and then you just kind of push out, push the figures out. It's just tight. I don't want to. It's so new. I don't want to break him. But yeah, you can just kind of pop him out. Looks really cool. Really digging it. Let's take a look at this guy and compare his vehicle mode to Soundwaves and see what we think. Alright, before we actually look at his vehicle mode, let's take a look at his unofficial boombox mode. So here he is, looking all nice, looking all cool. I love the black and red. It just looks really nice. And just as a comparison, really quick, here he is to Soundwave in boombox mode, the two of them. Looking very cool, very nice. Definitely digging them. I think Soundwave actually looks a little bit better in boombox mode than Soundblaster does. There's something about the purple and the blue that kind of works better than this red. I think the red on the tires just kind of makes it pop out a little odd to me. But, I mean, it is what it is. Definitely cool. I definitely dig them. I love the fact that they kind of put this alternate mode in for them. They obviously look terrible on the sides, and you can kind of tweak them and do what you want with them. This is the way I kind of set them up. But I do like the fact that they did add them. You see them in the commercial for the original War for Cybertron game, and you see them in the credits. So it's kind of cool that they add them on there, not only in the deluxe figure for Soundwave in the first one, but also in this Voyager class figure for Soundwave and Soundblaster. So yeah, very cool. Just thought I'd throw that out there and do a comparison shot of the two. So now let's take a look at this guy in his official vehicle mode. Alright, so here we have Soundblaster in his Cybertronian truck mode, which looks really nice. I'm really digging the color scheme on this guy. He is obviously no different than Soundwave, which we'll pull up right here as a comparison. I mean, it's the same thing, except it's a different paint scheme. And I do have to say that the yellow and gold pops out a lot better than the purple and the red on this guy. It just looks nicer. I love the translucent purple wheels, but there's something about the red that just pops out. Although, again, like Blaster, I wish they had the Decepticon logos on the wheels. That would have looked really, really nice. The other thing is the rumble seat. Just like Soundwave's, his is red, but it matches the red turret a lot better. And I really wish that Rumble and Frenzy could have fit in there. I think that would have been very, very cool. But yeah, it just looks really nice. I love the red front end with the gold. I think this color scheme just works better. It always has for me. I don't know why. Just as a comparison on the blacks, here is Ravage in comparison to Soundblaster. Ravage is a darker charcoal, which I wish they would have used on Soundblaster. The other thing is, Ravage actually has a tail. I didn't realize in the review when I did with him. Both he's got a tail here, and so does Blaster's little guy. The tails just kind of fold up like that. So they just kind of pop out, they flip open, and they got a little tail. I didn't realize that. That's a nice little additive. So that's kind of cool. I thought I'd throw that out there because I didn't realize that in the last review with him. So yeah, there he is, Soundblaster. Really digging this figure. If you're a Soundwave fan, you're going to love this character, and if you're a Soundblaster fanatic, you gotta have this guy. This is just one that's got to go in the collection. I wish we would see more of this guy in the series. I'd like to see a Transformers Prime version of him. It's an easy repaint. Fans dig it. Why they don't do it more often, I don't know, but this was a fantastic additive. I was surprised they did this for the Fall of Cybertron Generations line, but I'm very, very glad they did. So thank you, Hasbro, for doing that for us fans. Very cool. Very much digging this guy, and I'm thrilled to have him so early in the toy season. So there he is, Soundblaster. Thanks for watching, guys, and look for more videos in the future.